Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday. It is the 19th day of September 2024. I hope you're all safe and healthy. Hope your family's safe and healthy. And hope the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our streets and sidewalks and cities clean and disease-free. Those also that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demand to have these industries. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, veterans, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in even worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today, I also want to continue what we talked about yesterday, which yesterday we were talking about Tom Thibodeau, people of focus, because everybody in New York, this is the problem. And it's kind of a unique thing about New York. And of course, if you grew up there like I did, you know, New York is always looking for something new, easily bored and needs excitement. New York City's probably, in my view, and I am admittedly prejudiced, but the greatest city on planet Earth, the most exciting city on planet Earth, the city with the most style, the most swag, that come out with everything new. So they're always looking for something new. This is a tremendous thing, but it's also a detriment. So, for example, in New York, they're always talking about trades, new things, trying new lineups, not because it actually helps the team win, but because it's something new. Okay? And so I spend a lot of my time trying to downplay that foolishness because people are just bored and want something new, especially now when there's 2 weeks left till camp and everybody's bored out their mind because the Knicks are not playing. But there's always people that's bringing up crap for something new. And so I downplay that. And yesterday, the big thing was people, and some didn't get it because some of you just read the description box or look at the video's thumbnail and you make a judgment about what you think the video is. Yesterday's video was about the fact that Tom Thibodeau's not focused on playing Julius Randle at the 5. That it's a option if necessary. And hopefully if Sims and Precious do what we think they can do and what I believe they could do, it won't be necessary. The only time you might see, in a good scenario, the only time you might see some Julius at the 5, and again, it's not going to be for long. He said 10 to 15 minutes. It'll be closer to 10. And the only time you would really see it, if there's no injuries, which hopefully there's not, is if one of those nights where Julius is just going off. Like I said, he's the type of player which makes, as an all-star and all-NBA player, that every given night, you're going to find maybe every couple of weeks, maybe every 10 days or so, he's going to be feeling really good. And when he is on that particular night, and you've seen this before, he'll be doing everything, getting to the basket, getting rebounds, hitting threes, this and assists, playing defense. It's one of those nights where when you have a guy like that, you could just kind of relax because he's going to win you the game because he's that good. And so it's not going to be every night, but you're going to have nights like that where he's just going off. Okay, and that will help the other teammates get a little bit of rest and relaxation because he's going to be taking over the game. Like I said, it's not every night, but he does have nights like that, where he just goes off. Usually he'll end up those nights in the high 30s or even 40s as far as points, double-digit rebounds. He'll be hitting threes. It's ridiculous when he gets like that. And when he does, then you might see him at the 5 a little bit. Because in those scenarios, Thibs likes to keep him on the floor because he's going off. And sometimes, and again, this is what people forget, one of the benefits of having a guy like a Randle is that there are some times where he gets on streaks like this, where it could be 2 or 3 games where he's just going off like that. See, that's why glad you developed an all NBA talent like Julius Randle. And for all the knuckleheads still out here talking about trades, stupid. No, we don't trade guys like that because of what they can do like that. Okay? That's what makes him different like that. And he also can get you 72 games, so you're not worried about injury like that. Okay? So that is why he talked about the possibility of sometimes using him at the 5 for those two scenarios. If some people get hurt and you're short in terms of backups outside of MitchRob, Sims, and Precious, you might have to pay him some minutes at the 5, okay? Or if he's going off. Those are the two scenarios. It's not going to be a regular thing, though. Like people are trying to make it as if Sims and Precious don't exist. This is what I don't like. Sometimes people don't know what they're saying, seriously, because they're dissing one of your players by pushing another one. So you're pushing as if Julius Randle could be this, what they call it, death lineup, and you're acting like Precious and Sims don't exist. They do, and they could ball. Anyway, today's video is going to be on another area, what Thibs mentioned when he was talking in that interview, versatility. See, this is even more important right here. That is more important than Julius at the 5. Versatility. And we're not talking about versatility in terms of depth, because depth is why you're signing all of these old has-been dudes that can hopefully give you 15 minutes like Mook, okay? Or dudes that really don't fit like Shaman. That's those type of dudes you're hoping, you see if they can make the team to give you depth. Depth works if you do have a lot of injuries, like last year. So then you have depth behind them. None of those guys, and this is what it kills me when people say, Mook or Shaman, they're not going to be rotation guys. These Exhibit 9 deals to see if they could make the team. They're not in the rotation, okay? No, they're not going to be. But the rotation, which is the 9-man rotation, plus Sims and Cameron Payne, that is where you're dealing with your versatility. And the thing is, when you're thinking about Thibs and he's talking about versatility, okay, you have to understand Josh Hart is going to be a major player in that versatility thing. He loves Josh Hart. Whether we like it or not, Josh Hart is his boy, and he's going to put Josh Hart out there in a lot of different lineups. Then, of course, it's not just Josh Hart. We know, for example, you got Deuce and DiVincenzo. And you can actually, play them together. And you can put Brunson in and put DiVincenzo in with Brunson, obviously. And put Deuce in with Brunson, obviously. And then you got Precious and Sims that you could play together and give Juice some rest. Or give MitchRob a blow, which you're going to have to do. There's a lot of options. And then that doesn't even include, oh my God, all of the options you have with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, the bookends that are locked down on your wing. Any lineup that you put either of those guys in, it's going to be a hellified lineup with this rotation, Almost any lineup. So you can't really, you don't want to overplay them, especially OG. We talked about his injury history. We know that he's injury prone. So you cannot just play him 35, 37 minutes a night. You can maybe with Mikal, but you cannot do that with OG. So you got to pick and choose your spots. But any spot you can get OG, especially if you could deal with him in the second unit for a few minutes, and that's, again, we're talking just a few minutes. If you can get him in there with the second unit, that's tremendous. Now, Mikal, because of what I just mentioned, in terms of the fact that he's kind of like an Iron Man. He plays 82 games. He plays a lot of minutes. He's in tremendous condition. You can use him like Josh Hart, but Mikal is better. See, you can play Josh Hart a lot of minutes, and you can play Mikal a lot of minutes, and the combination of them two. And again, you could put them out there with any combination you want. MitchRob, Precious, Jericho, Deuce. You can put them out there. And this is the thing. Thibs had all of these weapons at his disposal. A coach like that's been coaching 20 years as a head coach and knows what the hell he's doing, and has this type of weaponry at his disposal that can all play defense and know how to play the game the right way, yeah, the Knicks are going to be a problem. Yes, they are. And I'm going to tell you right now, the league knows it. Never mind all this noise about fluff. The versatility part is extremely important. And that's what makes the Knicks tough. And particularly, we're not just talking about the starting five. And I understand people focus on the starting five, but that's not the focus. It's the bench. It's what you can do with the second units. You see, brethren, no matter how good a team is, let's take Boston. They're the kind of like the poster child. They're the champions, right? Tatum needs a breather. Brown gonna need a breather, right? Of course, Porzingis needs a lot of breather, right? But Brown and Tatum, they're two best players. They can't play 48 minutes every night, so they gotta sit. And every team has the same dilemma. You play your star players too many minutes, you're liable to get them hurt, and you need them for the playoffs. So Boston is like everybody else. They're going to have to limit Tatum and Brown. Let's say they get them 35 minutes a game. So that means for 13 minutes, they got to sit. That's where the Knicks are tough. That 13 minutes that Tatum Brown got to sit, you got to deal with Precious, Deuce, Divo, Hart, and maybe OG, or maybe McCall, or maybe Juju, or maybe Brunson. You got to deal with them on the second unit. And there ain't no combination if you take Tatum and Brown out the first unit and let them sit for a few minutes together. There's nothing they could do with the Knicks second unit. And that's the best team in the league, okay, that we're talking about. So any other team that you want to name, I don't care which one it is. Eastern Conference, you're talking about Milwaukee, Miami, Sixers, Cleveland. Any other team you want to talk about. When they have to bring their second unit in, see, Donovan Mitchell got to sit sometime. He can't play 48 minutes a game. So he got to sit sometime. So if he sits 13 minutes, they got a problem. Okay? Milwaukee. Giannis can't play, not no more. He can't play no 48 minutes a game. If he plays 35 minutes, he got to sit 13 minutes. And I don't care who they bring in with the rest of them old geezers. They're going to have a problem with us. Okay? All of these teams. Orlando is about, because of their youth, they got the energy and Paolo in them. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be tough. Indiana, they're going to be tough. They got a tremendous bench. Obi Toppin is now the Indiana Mob Deep, and they got a tremendous bench over there. But for the most part, teams are going to have a problem when they come against the New York second unit, the Mob Deep of Mob Deeps. And so, yes, the versatility, it becomes more important right now. And that's what I'm excited to see. You all enjoy your Thursday. So